listeners that the views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the host and guests and not necessarily the opinions of the owners of Global Communications Network and the operators of this radio
It's
station.
Love Jones. It's Love Jones. Check us out as we combine our hit music with a love story. Live with Candy. It's Love Jones. Call in and participate at 326-0271 on Global Radio 99.5 FM.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Refugee Camp presents
For all relationships, for regrets, for disagreements, for breaking up and making up, for all those out there jonesing for love, it's Love Jones right here, right now on Global 99.5. Good morning. A very, very pleasant good morning to one and all. It's a gorgeous Thursday. Welcome to a brand new edition of Love Jones right here on the best mix of R&B music on the Steve Harvey Morning Show. Before I do anything, let me advise that you can go on the Google Play Store and pick up Global 995 so that you can have it readily available for all of your favorite programming and all of your old school, new school music in between. You can check us out live on Facebook right now. The video is there on 99.5. It'll be posted on Love Jones Crew a little bit later. And of course, for your viewing pleasure at any time on YouTube. You can text or WhatsApp at 431-8497, as well as call in live at 326-0272 or 1. Woo! Yeah.
That was mouthful.
Wasn't it? It
Yeah.
always is. Good
So we
morning,
added-
our Facebook viewers.
So you added the what's it called? You have an app now?
Yeah,
You have an
you
app
could
now?
go on the Google Play Store and you can go
Oh, just in
ahead
Google, it's not on
and
iOS.
We'll fix you up. You just because I know you're an Apple guy.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'll get you sorted out un momento, por favor. But we've had a lot of new views on Love Jones Crew. A lot of people are having more and more input, and obviously relationships will always be a hot topic, but there are so many different facets to it. And we left on a note yesterday. D is on his way. He ran a little bit
okay.
late this morning. Goddess Erin WhatsApp, she said, I'm going to try, but today is National Cut Behind Day. It's Report Card Day. So
Oh, it is?
yeah, we got a lot of,
So it's National Panty Day.
and Karib Day.
Actually, no.
How do you- no
it's not-
draws
No,
day.
no wearing Panty Day.
Yes, according to
Right.
what we received. And
And-
Karib Day.
Right.
I wonder how you can infuse that, not for the children, but an adult kind of. We'll talk about that a little
So
bit.
if you
later
are
on.
wearing, it's National No Drawers Day. So
no
you-
draws day,
So if you're wearing drawers,
right?
Cut
Then
it for you.
maybe cut it for you.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I
Let's see
think-
if we could deal. We could do that. So yesterday we got into. Well, I wanted to go around the table, but the particular point you brought up, it brought such fire that we
For
couldn't
real?
get into other stuff. It started off with, disciplining children and how far is spankings to go and the impact that has on you as not just a parent and how you go about discipline. But it just had so many different parts to it. And then I received something and I read over it, and it was talking about what we had talked about earlier in the week about roles in dating
Let's check
and
this
all
down.
of that. I'm going to check it out. Of all the dating and all of these other stuff like that. And the lady said this was her situation. She said that she's been seeing a guy for 2.5 years, right? They were getting ready to hit the 3-year mark. She has a 12-year-old son, and his father passed last year. So that within itself has been quite challenging to her, as well as trying to get her son to have this is the first time he's come in contact with death. And it came so close to home, it wasn't like it was a friend of the family or something like that. Even grandma is difficult, but his father. And so with that, and having a relationship already with the man that she'd been dating, but now it changes the dynamic a little bit because his natural father has passed. And so perhaps the mantle is a little bit greater for the man that is in her life as to maybe what the child is expecting as far as what he's to do as a fathership role. All right. So with that being and things tootling along, Father's Day was last weekend, right? And the little boy felt compelled to get him a card and to pick him up a trinket. He told his mother he wants to go and get him something because he's grown to love him and he appreciates the role that he's been playing in his life. So he goes and does that. The guy has been talking about their church having a father-son something where it'll be a potato sack race or whatever it is that they were doing. And so the little boy is excited, like, okay, I'm actually going to be able to do something with him. This will be our first Father's Day where we do something together. And perhaps I don't think about the loss of my father as much. So mommy gets to making a bowl of potato salad. You know, you got to send something to the little picnic and whatever. And the little boy in his room, he got dressed and whatever. So the guy came over. Everybody chatted a little bit. He got the potato salad and he left. He didn't take the child with him. And so the woman says that act within itself, some people may not see it as a big deal, but the act within itself has now caused her to question the relationship between them, the relationship with he and her son, and whether this relationship is even worth maintaining anymore. And definitely the question of whether she should even bother keeping the relationship, much less marrying this man. So that was that situation. We want to talk about that because she's listening with all ears.
Right.
I asked that he listened as well, but I'm not certain he'll adhere to that.
Okay, so you have contact with him also?
Through her.
Okay.
So we'll see. She'll let me know. And then that opened the door to lots of other things, as well as the caller yesterday was like women, being women. Culturally, we seem to introduce who we date to our children way too fast. And then we talked about calling them on all these other things like that. And should a man you're dating even play a role? Can you be with a woman and not come in contact with her children? What's the time that you should? Should you wait a year to see if this is going to balance out, if this making sense? Or do you introduce from jump? And if it doesn't work and the children have become connected to you, what do? Then you become someone else that's walked away. And even if you say, okay, I actually have a true and honest bond with these children, how do you maintain that bond with keeping a separation with their mother? If she gets involved with someone else, they're looking at you sideways like, you're her ex. Why you crease up? It's so much. Like, so what do you do? Are we going to start with her story? Where you want to go? Because you're like, oh, it's a lot.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, did she have a conversation with him afterwards?
She said she did.
And what did he say?
I reached out for contact last night. She said because Dee and those were asking if they lived together.
Okay. That
was one of the things that's contemplated. They're over at each other's homes a lot of time, but they do not live together. He himself does not have any children. She said she had a conversation yesterday because we were trying to understand why do that? And his response was, his father just died. It's been heavy taking on a role as a father. I don't know how to, but I'm trying the best that I can, right? But in my mind, the explanation she gave, this is how I'm interpreting it, and then they can correct me if I'm wrong. As to what he said, in his mind, his thing is taking him to this father-son thing in a way would solidify in his mind that he is now, with absolution, taking on the role as father in his life. He's not sure that he is prepared to do that without disappointing him. This child has just lost his actual factual father.
Right.
If he messes it up, he doesn't want to be responsible for, he's not ready. But her thing is, what you mean you knew I had a kid? I mean, before the dad died, we were trying to involve you in stuff with him so that he understands that if we do go into marriage, that you're going to be the person that is father in this household.
Okay, so let me understand this. Before the kid's father passed away, she was already dating this guy.
Yes.
Okay, I understand. Okay.
So that's her thing. Before dad died, now, of course, that changed things a bit. Absolutely.
Right.
But before he passed, we were dating and we were taking us together, so that he could understand that, yes, this is your dad, but this is going to be a parental figure. This is going to be a father figure, a possible disciplinarian in your life, he's going to play a significant role in your life.
Right.
So the boy has
but
already
this was-
established respect for him.
Right, but this was established when his father was alive.
Yes, and that's what the guy is saying. Now that dad has passed,
Right.
everything now that once belonged to me as well as only daddy, everything now is on my shoulders.
Right.
Her thing is, at some point, regardless of what, if you're my husband, then those things will sit on you because we are now building a home together and my son is a part of this home.
Yeah.
So,
There's no so. That's
okay, let me ask you in plain simple,
Mm-hmm.
is he justified in his actions? Hearing what he had to say. Now, yesterday we were all up in arms.
I can't justify the actions. When I say I can't justify the actions, I understand where he's coming from.
Right.
Because that's a heavy role to take. Because the boy's now 12 years old.
Mhm.
See and his father just recently passed away. Now to step into that role as a dad for a 12-year-old
Mhm.
is heavy. It's heavy responsibility. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I think what she should have done, and this is my feelings, is just dealt with it right then and there. Say, listen, aren't you supposed to take him
Mhm.
to the?
I don't know. She said she fixed it. She was doing her own thing, washing or whatever. The little boy was in the room watching his TV, waiting on
And
him
he
to
just
come.
left?
He came, he got the potato salad out of the kitchen. He didn't really, it wasn't no, yeah, you reach or whatever. She didn't know when he left. And then she was calling like, so what happened? Why you and Gary?
Okay.
And then the conversation
Okay.
ensued thereafter. Hey, D, what's going on?
What's happening? What's happening? I apologize for my late
That's all right.
arrival.
We know
I
life
kind
happens.
of, I know what we're talking about, and I kind of picked on I
But the
gathered the
response
fact that he
of what the guy
responded.
said, yeah, he did through her. She said his response was, "Okay, I get what
They're
you're
listening?
saying. She's listening,
Okay.
and I haven't talked to him personally, but speaking through
Through
her,
her.
she said that she's gonna ask him to tune in
Mm-hmm.
so that there is an exterior." As far as when you close to him and you feel like you only feel that way because that is you and you in it. So she asked him to listen in to get some other viewpoints on it. His response was, okay, listen, here's the thing. I don't want to feel like, hey, I stepping on daddy. Dude just passed. This is the first Father's Day without him. Respect due to him. I ain't trying to come in and, okay, forget about daddy. Come, let's go to this Father's Day thing. It's like, in a way, trying to give you your space to mourn, but at the same token, I don't want to be someone that comes in and I don't know how to be a daddy because he don't have any children.
Mhm.
He only been learning how to play dad role while he's been dating her.
Okay.
And have now been going out as a family
Unit.
for like the second half of the time that them been dating. So the first year was like me and you, we dating. Yeah, that's my son, but not really a role. Now for the second year, right around the time when dad passed away, then they started going to the beach together, out to dinner together. So we had more of a one-on-one with the little boy. So now it's like, okay, so now I'm coming in. I got to deal with trying to help you through your daddy passing. I got to try help old girl with
Her
her
issues.
stuff that's going on with that. Now that he's gone, that's also going to that's going to put some financial stuff that because we're thinking about getting married. So now, like in class, right? We thinking about getting married, and now that dad is gone, it isn't that thing where I have to consult daddy now because daddy isn't there. I gonna have to be daddy. So
Yeah, and
Right.
and regardless of whether daddy was there or not, you would still have to be daddy because the little boy would still be in your house.
that's what I just said. He's still gonna
And
live in
so-
your home, so
and
you're gonna
so-
be a disciplinarian, a provider, protector.
I'm sorry, but that's BS. It is because regardless of what the dynamic is with the father, whether the father is living or not, I'm alive. I have 5 kids. None of them live with me.
Right.
2 of which their mothers are married.
Mhm.
What does that have to do with anything?
But if you was to pass away,
If I was dating a woman,
you
And
you
to-
provide for your kids.
yeah.
Mhm.
If I was dating a woman and 2 years, we were dating for 2 years. She has a child. Her child's father passes in the first year of us dating. If I've already considered marrying this woman, then I've already come to the realization that in marrying her, I am married to her child. Her child is now a part of entangled in my life.
It's an interesting dynamic, and that's what I like about it.
It's he's completely entangled in my life. So due to the fact that his father is now gone, his father isn't is deceased. For this little boy to go and purchase you a Father's Day gift.
He sees you a certain type of way.
He holds you in a certain respect. So for you to turn away from him, and his father is gone, so he sees you now as the leading male figure in his life. For you to turn away from that little boy, forget the mother. For you to turn away from that little boy is heartless. I don't care.
No.
See,
I don't.
okay,
Brother, listen to me.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
No,
Here's the thing. Okay, I get where you're coming from. I see what D is saying, but here I am in the middle of it, right? Here's what I saw. The very thing that he was trying to avoid doing is exactly what he did.
Because I actually
when he didn't go, right?
Me and Candy had this discussion yesterday off air, and I said to her, I said, maybe it's the fact that he didn't want to step on dad's
memory.
You know, on whatever. But at the end of the day, you got to understand, in moving forward, this little boy now, in buying you that gift says so much things at Father's Day. That means he accepts you as his father figure. He accepts.
But did he understand that? And that's
Probably
the thing.
not.
See, not him. See, you and Mike, you guys would have a different understanding as to what a gift, something such as that means, because you
Especially
are
from a little
fathers.
boy.
Exactly. You're fathers, so you would get that. For a man that doesn't have children, I don't know if he truly understood what the purchasing of that card and that gift meant.
Probably.
You know, he might have just think as daddy boyfriend, you know, because some people do that. Father's Day and Mother's Day don't mean nothing to them. They just get it as a gesture. Some people really don't get it, right? So I don't know if he if it really set into him what the little boy was trying to say to him when he purchased that to him. So that being said, if let's just say for a second he didn't get that, then he probably didn't understand with not taking him what that did to that child.
Right.
Correct.
Right? In his mind, he had an explanation, but he didn't say that or try to express that to the child. He just left him with his own devices.
That was going to be my point.
That's the problem.
The point I was going to make is I think he should have talked to that child and dealt with it. And
if he didn't know how to talk to the child, talk to the mother.
Talk to the mother and let her understand, and then all of you sit down.
The child, he may not be able. The child may just see it from one angle, and the child may still take it a certain way.
But here's the thing: at 12 years old, I think the child somewhat still have a talk with the child.
Mm-hmm.
Still have a talk with the child. I mean, just be specific
and then let
with the
mother
questions.
Reinforce.
Right. You know, ask the child certain questions on his level.
But Mike, here's the thing. Let's be real about it. We're grown-ups here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the benefit to being grown-ups, you've all been children at some point. Some of us still live in child life, but that's a different topic. We've all been children. We've all been disappointed as children. Even so much as if your parents promise you they didn't carry you to the carnival and they don't carry you, that just hurt your feelings.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, go on.
So
Carnival,
in a situation,
ice cream.
and I don't get that. I feel some type of way with that. I very upset. I didn't taste that in my mouth. I feel the coolness of that. And you ain't give me that.
My esophagus.
That's what I'm saying. And getting sticky and eating the cone, and then you didn't get what kind the fallacy, right? So the very thing that he tried to avoid with saying hurting the child and being someone to turn the back, that's precisely what he did.
On a different level.
And what I'm saying is, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to understand that if you've been talking about it, if the mother and the child been visiting the church and they've been talking about Daddy Sunday and we looking forward to all of the deaconess them. Now you know come out and bring in a chair in and the salad and thing will be out there. The deaconess them promoting. He been hearing about it and his mind he assuming, and then he make sure he give you the little present. So he figured it's wrapped up.
You ready?
So there was no conversation about him having no conversation about the guy taking the kid to the Father's Day thing.
I think the little boy, she didn't say, and that's something I'd like to hear. They had talked about it, and obviously there had to been some kind of conversation about it in the house because she prepped the potato salad, so we knew he was going. And if you don't have children, what you going for? Unless you carry me. She said he went to church. That's what I'm saying. You don't have children.
It's a father-son to do.
So if you as a child, you listening, you know he don't have children. What else you going for?
You ain't got no children. She got a child. She have a son who's just lost his father. You don't have any kids, but you going to the father-son.
Any child is gonna think, woo,
I'm
in there. Right. If you don't have kids, what else you going for?
I hear you.
It's like a dude that likes skinny chicks. What you going to a thick girl club for? Ain't no skinny chicks there.
It wouldn't have been.
No.
It wouldn't have been as offensive, I think, if he had stayed home and not gone. But due to the fact that he was there.
Even if he came for the ride and say, we ain't staying, we just going to drop the salad for church support and we coming back. Still, I understand.
Maybe the heartless comment was a bit
It was much.
Yeah, but I mean, because.
But that's how the kid might have seen it.
I mean, and here's the thing, and I'm like I said, there's no wrong and there's no right. And when I say that, I mean,
Well,
I feel for the
disagree with
kid.
that.
I mean, I kind of wish he had taken the kid with him.
I totally wish you'd
I
taken
wish
the
he'd
kid
taken
with
the
him.
kid
Even
with
if
him, but,
say you see that it was just
you
on
know,
the ride.
Right.
Yeah, I wish he'd taken the kid for him, but I mean, you know, just understanding, is he ready for that? For that,
If you,
that type?
Probably
hold
not.
on,
You
hold
know?
on. But if you're not ready for that type of a role, then you shouldn't marry a woman with children.
Here's the thing.
I wonder if what scared him is the fact that, see, listen here. Let me tell you something. I think for him, he saw it as, dude, daddy alive,
That's
right?
what I'm saying. Right.
So I can play a role, but he got daddy, right?
Right.
That's like with your
Right.
kids, right? I don't care who Mother M, we can call her. I don't care who in Mother M life. At the end of the day, little mama's like, you know, and she don't care who is in her life. Bro, I want you to understand you here, but daddy here.
And you know, as a
And
dad,
ain't nothing that you could do, nothing you could give me, nothing you could buy me can change the love I have for this man right here, who's
But-
my daddy.
right, and
So,
and as a dad, you can make sure you're responsible for her.
and what I'm saying
well-being.
is, if
Correct.
God forbid in any scenario where D is not there, that's not going to shift the love in her heart that her daddy has held.
right,
But
The thing that
imagine that man trying to step inside D's shoes. That could be very frightening when
That's
you
what I'm
play
saying.
such a monstrous role in your daughter's life. That ain't no easy place to sit. And little mama ain't gonna make it easy because
No.
she love her. That is what it
and
is.
see the
So in his
But the
mind,
thing
it's
is-
like, yo, for
and I
me
get-
even
and I get that.
for you to be alive and him to
Yeah,
just play a
but
supporting role to your act, that's
D.
one thing. For him to have to take on your role now, different story.
a total role. When I say a total role,
I understand what you mean.
financial,
So I think it
emotional,
probably really scared
intellectual.
him.
Spiritual,
That's
everything.
Yeah,
everything.
that's a
That's
heavy-
a
I
role.
get that, but again, it still boils to the thing I said before. If you aren't prepared for that type of role,
Then you should
not date a woman
Well,
with
no,
kids.
like I said-
Because regardless of what happens, when you say I do,
you play in a role.
you put yourself in that role. And if that man had died, let's say after they got married, then what?
Okay,
still
Mike,
have to play
that's the
the
thing.
role.
Okay, if
That's
you and
the thing.
Kara ain't together for whatever reason,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
You got 3 babies. Well,
Mhm.
not babies, you know. You got one older one, but you got 2 babies, right?
She's still a baby.
Who in I know, right? You look at me like she's still a baby.
Yeah, like don't worry about
Who in the world
She's
could come in your life and talk, but they loving you and they with you,
And
and they can't. They're not willing to step into a role of motherhood for those girls. Who?
I
Who you even
Candy,
entertain?
and that is
Come on,
so
Mike.
good.
Who you
Listen,
even entertain?
I understand that. I get you, and it's so expected. It's so expected. But how many times do we go in situations and not think of possibly what the outcome could
All
be?
the time.
And that's the problem.
But that's our problem. That's
You see
our
what I'm
point.
saying?
You
Until it
can't be
happens. Now
afforded
it has
that
happened,
opportunity.
and he's realizing now that
it's interesting
wow,
to realize that.
my
It's too
role
late.
now in this family
Mhm.
or in this person's life has now switched.
Mhm.
I have to actually pull up my socks. When I pull up my socks, I have to play more of a role now because this person doesn't have a father. Am I ready for that?
Mike.
Okay, hold on.
I
Stop right
understand
there
he
for one
should have
second.
thought about that.
Not just even that. Let's just say he didn't think about it. Let's just say he didn't think about it. And he's not the place that you're talking about. What should he have done?
Because his father died.
What should he have here? And that's what our conversation today, we're hoping that can help people in said situation or that may come across it, they can avoid this situation right here.
Right.
If he realizes it, and when the man passes and after the funeral and all that other stuff like that has subsided, and he thinking about marrying this woman, his next
Still.
step should be, okay,
Now I have to forge a relationship with this little
mama,
boy.
now that he's passed, as this boy's mother, and what is expected of me in his life. That's I need to know that before we think about going a step further, because I'm sure I'm ready. What do you expect from me? What is expected? What does he need? What does he need?
Yeah,
Or as a mother, tell me what is it that he needs?
Let's be realistic.
You
Can
gotta
we have
ask
conversations like that, though?
But that's our problem,
Right.
Mike.
Hold
We
on,
have
hold
to
on.
stop.
Let
We
me
have
tell
to
you
stop
why
that
we don't
BS.
Yeah, I
Hold
understand,
on.
but that's what
Let me
needs
tell
to
you
happen. But
I
did they
agree.
have that conversation?
No.
Obviously
Mike,
not.
hold on. But let me tell you why
This is the test.
No, he didn't fail.
I don't know, because she's saying now, listen, if you could do something like that,
You
I'm sure I
failed.
want you in my son life
And
or my life.
I could appreciate when I say I could appreciate that. This is what needs to happen for her to figure out where she needs to go with this relationship.
I can tell you where she needs to go with it.
You know what I'm saying?
So is he allowed the mistake?
That's not the type of mistake to make. I'm
I
sorry.
boy, I ain't disagreeing with you. You know, it's definitely a big one. But we keep saying that people are people and
The
they
only-
make mistakes.
realistically-
So is I think the question here is we already know that the damage that more than likely it has done.
Yeah.
Not just within their relationship, but the dynamic of him
And that little boy.
and the little boy. Because remember, they had already been establishing a relationship before daddy died. So he already saw him
in a particular
in a
role,
particular way, and he wouldn't have bought him that present or card
saying
if he didn't feel a certain kind of way
a
towards
certain
him.
thought of love, appreciation,
Well, here's the
respect.
thing: the lady,
all of
said
that.
she already knows what she needs to do.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? You know, she's already had. I'm pretty sure she's already had the conversation with him.
Yeah, but here's the thing:
I have
do
a
you
quick
just count him
question.
out? What about all the work that he's been trying to do?
I have a quick question. Do we know for sure it was his idea to get the card?
The little boy.
Yeah,
She said it was.
It
She
was
said-
his
she said
idea.
She said the boy came to her
and wanted to
and,
get a
and
card.
wanted to get her.
Okay.
She only tried to. He had a little $3-4. You know,
And she
say.
tried to
Here's-
make
here's
up.
And
the
she
thing.
tried to give
I
him a
mean-
couple more
I mean,
dollars to go with it.
We're
to
sitting
do.
here. We're sitting here. I mean, judging the whole situation. Obviously, leading up to Father's Day,
Mhm.
the man played a decent role.
That's what I'm
And
Yeah,
saying.
that's
That's what I'm
what
saying.
So just to count that out, she, like I said, she needs to have a conversation with him. They need to have a conversation as a
Yeah.
unit,
Yeah.
and then figure out where they go
I
from there.
agree. I'm
If
not
he's
saying
not
to
ready
count
for
it
the
out.
role, then
Then he needs to be the one to move away from
See what I'm
it.
saying? Or
I'm
they,
not
she needs
saying
to
that he should
decide
be
where they
counted
can
out.
slow down or what they're gonna do or
But
whatever.
all parties have to understand this. That and typically we do that, and I get it. As parents, people forget that we're humans and we trying to enjoy sex. We trying to enjoy coupling, we trying to enjoy dating, we trying to get to know people. Just because we're parents doesn't negate us to all of those other feelings that people have. It doesn't. It just means that we have to go at it so much more different
Yeah, we
because
go
the
more creative.
responsibility is now grander. I agree. The sneak and peep though.
Let me
But not just that, the responsibility is grander because now you don't just unless you make up in your mind that this is just a plaything.
Yeah.
But if it's not just a plaything, you now have to consider, is this person enough to
Parental
not just be
material.
in my life, but parental material for to be in my kid's life?
Like,
And so if they're not, that's someone that you may like, but you have to possibly walk away from.
How old is she?
She's 37, 38.
Okay, and he's how old?
He's 41. Yeah, he should know better. But he should know better. But if you don't have
Why?
kids,
Because
boy,
he's
listen, it is
Brother,
no.
listen to me. It's Mike. You can
just
suck
thought-
it all you want.
No, everything cool, but I mean,
Yeah, everything is cool. But the thing is, the reality is this. At 41, you don't understand the role of a father, whether you are one or not.
Suppose your own dad wasn't that kind of dad. Some people really just don't know. I'm understanding that more and
people
more.
who are dads.
They
and
really
don't
just
understand
don't.
it.
Boy,
What you
listen.
talking about?
Real talk.
Just the fact that
You
he's
could-
never been a
You
dad.
couldn't imagine it because your daddy, he didn't play them games.
No.
Okay, he wasn't on that flicking run. Say what?
No.
Your daddy wasn't on that run.
No.
Therefore, you ain't on that run.
No.
Right? And you ain't gonna
No.
teach your sons to be on that run, and you
No.
ain't gonna teach your daughters to
To
deal with
accept
no dudes
who-
that ain't on
that ain't
that
make-
run.
right,
Right?
right.
So for you, that's
Okay.
unfathomable. But for someone
Okay.
who really just ain't had a daddy who wasn't into nothing,
But I mean, okay, I get that.
let me
But
give
my-
you an example. And I always speak openly about it, right?
Hmm.
I was on Latch for 20 years, right? We always had an issue as to why aren't you taking our son to the barber? When you going to go do certain things with the boys, take him with you so that he understands the male to male connectivity and the importance of that, right? As the daughters, go down on the floor with them and play Barbies with them now and again. Let them put the tiara on your head and
My
pour you
daughter always
and
back
pour
me,
you
yeah.
tea. You and you
Mine
got
too.
hair for tiara too.
Not mine, though.
I said, but I'm saying there are the dynamics that a father has to be for his daughters
Listen to
and
me.
what he has to be for sons, right? But
what
he
was he-
said to me this, and I really didn't get it until things started to evolve. He said to me, "Let me be real with you," and it wasn't until our situation ended when it clicked to me before, but the weight of it really dropped when he said, "You don't understand." Like my daddy was this daddy. He drive taxi, right? Daddy was like this. He had to be out early in the morning. He got back late at night. As far as he was concerned, mommy was there. And once he paid the bills to make sure y'all had light, Y'all ate,
And y'all somewhere to live?
and y'all had somewhere to live, and y'all had
That's
y'all
great.
uniform and thing. I doing my role as a daddy. If mommy calling me and say y'all was misbehaving while I was out on the road and I got
Okay.
a clack, I deal with that. He said that is what my daddy taught me, and that's what I teaching you. He said he didn't understand that it called for love and attention. It called for having a deeper understanding. It called for sitting down and listening to the children and the problems that they having at school. He said that's not how you start, and he didn't understand that it called for more than that. And he was a father 5 times, my 3, and then he had another 2, so he had 5, and he's still now banking on 50, and he's just now understanding that, just now dawning on him that that is what it's about.
Why growing up with my dad, looking at the things that he did, the things he accepted, the things he allowed, the things he didn't allow, my sister, I questioned a lot of stuff.
Right.
And then even just watching commercials, you would see dads letting their daughters make them up like princesses, put makeup on them, the feathery,
the tutu and the whole to the
and you'd be like, this man gotta be crazy. You think I can sit there and allow this girl to make up? That's what I'm saying.
That's what he
That's what
thought
I
he
used to
wouldn't
say.
until he had him.
And, right. And then I had him, and it's like, and the thing is, especially with little girls, when they're doing that with their dad, when they didn't put the makeup on you, they're doing these, they actually in the process of doing, they open up so much.
They're talking to you.
It's like you wouldn't know, like you literally in your head, you're like, where does conversation come from?
Not just that, they
But
see you,
it's-
they know
right.
that you're masculine, and they know that you're daddy, and yet look at you. You sitting down in this little small behind chair, and you letting me do this. That means so much to
Right.
them.
And that's what I'm saying. So I didn't understand it at first, and I think that kind of is the thing with him, because like you guys said, he's never
he
been in the
doesn't- he
situation
don't get it.
of being a dad. He doesn't know what that role entails,
And
and
maybe not his own
you know,
father may have not
and
played that
his
role.
father may not have been there. It didn't register, but for me, I guess like Candy said, it's just different for me because I have sons, I have daughters. Both of my parents have been there. My dad played his role, my mom played hers, and I've dated women with kids.
Right. So you've
And so like
encircled
with
all
some
those
right,
things.
like I had a friend she has 3 boys, and both of their fathers are absent because she has 2 babies for one, and then a guy for the other. And we've been friends for a while, and like Father's Day, I would buy them little gifts, just little small things, truck or little something, and the look on their face, like sometimes, and she'd be like, "Thanks." I'd be like, "For what?" She's like, "Because you don't know how much it means to them."
That's the key right there.
And like when I buy my kids gifts for Christmas or whatever the case is, I would go do the same thing. I would buy them little gifts. And because she used to work so hard and she had no help, once or twice I would even buy her a gift just so that they feel, like they feel
They're not getting left
Right,
out. You don't have
right.
a dad, but there's some male that cares enough about you to do something special for you.
And what amazed me was I would go by them off and on, and the little trucks that I would buy them for Christmas, they would literally have those trucks in the corner, neatly tucked away,
It was special.
and it meant something to them. So for this little boy, I think, like Mike said, I think he really needs to have a conversation with
I think it's
the
salvageable,
boy
but
one-on-one,
he gonna have to do
with the
some
boy
talking.
one-on-one, and then with the boy and the mother together, because I honestly don't think he understands how much that destroyed
He
that little boy.
understands now.
He understands
gets it
now,
now.
but when it happened, he didn't. He
No.
didn't, and he did it ignorantly.
And the thing is,
And like Mike said, because of they've been together 2 years,
Yeah. And
so I
the
don't
dad
think
was
that
alive for the first year. And
Right.
going into the second year
he passed.
is when he passed away.
Okay, so
Yeah,
I don't.
so-
Yeah, I don't think that he deserves. I mean, I said it initially, but I don't think that he deserves to get.
right, like I
Right.
said, they have both the guy and the lady has to look at the situation and then have a talk.
And then sit down and talk to her.
She just offended.
She mad because her child
That's
hurt.
child.
Right. And I think, but what we have to realize is he had been doing some work and he had been trying prior to that. You can't just discount all of that.
Right, because there's a reason why the little boy bought him a gift.
Because he was doing his work. And a lot of times as women, we discount all the work the man done been doing. He do the one thing and poop, you ready to kick him out.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And so in this instance, we have to look at things at the broader view. I'm not saying absolutely what he did was thoughtless, but I don't think he had a full understanding of what that meant. Now that he has, I truly doubt he'll make this kind of mistake ever again.
No.
Never, ever, never.
Call someone else.
Never, ever, never again. But I think that the biggest part is having that communication so that he fully gets it. And like you said, whether it's with her or with someone else, he now understands what it truly means to be in a relationship and solidify yourself with someone that has children. Because it's more than just checking them. Hey, babies, how y'all doing? Go straight in the room. Yeah. It's more than that. It's more than poop, poop, call your mommy. It's more than that. And the same goes for women, because I think women is get it twisted too. Your responsibility is just as grand when you are looking or interested in a man that has children. Let me be raw and real. Those part of your life too. Sorry about that. Mm-hmm. The baby mamas, the ex-wife, all that, they're part of your life too.
And I think
get with that program.
I think that's why I said what I said.
If you were married and you
got divorced,
with your kids, would you marry someone again?
Would I marry
another lady?
Yeah, why not? Why not? Me getting married again is for my happiness. My children, they can eventually grow up and they can start getting their own snuggie and stuff like that. So I must stay and dry up because no.
So one of the questions that we had, Mandy, I was trying so hard. You're locked into Love Jones on Global 99.5 431-8497. I'm going to start to answer some of these WhatsApps that have come in. Magic Mike, Brother D, Candy sitting in, Solid on the other side. You can get your global app, so go to the Google store. Of course, you can log on to Facebook, be a part of Love Jones crew, watch the video on Global 995's page. So one of the things that came in, the question was, if you're with someone, and like say the situation prior to that, and you have a connection, you work on your connection with the children or child. You guys establish a connection, not just because you're with the parent, but because you generally have care for the child, right? Something happened, love dropped down, pop down, box follow, right? But the children still see you, like in some of your situations, they still see you a certain kind of way. They still want to text you, they still want to call you.
Go ahead.
They still want to know if you could carry us on the beach now and again. Is it healthy to maintain that relationship? How do you maintain it and try to keep distance between the ma who does carry like a freak or the old guy who does freak out? Or should you just split when you split with mom and make a healthy cut? What do you do? Before you answer, we got a call on the line. Good morning. Hello. Good morning, Global. I hear noise, but I hear no talkings. All right. I heard them, but I don't know if they could hear us. So that's the question.
I think if you can maintain a relationship with the kids,
would be like, run.
I think if you can maintain a relationship, if the parent are acting special, then simply say to the kids, look, hey, well, you know how your mom is, or you know your dad is.
You know your mom is.
Yeah. You know your mommy special. So
that's what you can tell a kid. Yes. About their mom.
Yeah.
All right. Continue.
They may know. I mean, like, you know your mommy special. You know she goes. So what you do? If you want to call me at any point, you could call me.
Right.
If you out and you need, just call me. If you want to talk to me, communicate, we can communicate. But if your mom starts to feel some type of way about it,
then we'll have
to pull it back.
Okay.
But if ever you need to reach out to me, you have my number, you know where I live, you know where I work.
Do that.
Call me.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. I mean, when I say I would split. When I say I would split, I would have that conversation with that child and say, I'm always here for you. But you and your mom, me and your mom. I'm not gonna say you know your mom, go. I would say, you and your mom, me and your mom are not together anymore.
Right.
But you and I have developed a pretty good friendship. So if you need me for anything, just give me a shout. Right. But I won't be talking about taking you on the beach every week or we go play basketball or stuff like that.
If you want to play basketball, we could do that. I don't do the beach, so no.
No, but I'm just saying
just generally an activity of sorts.
If you need me, just give me a shout. You need me for something? Sure, give me a shout. But I mean, and I won't say this, but it can't be on a regular. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to be seeking other relationships. Suppose you get another relationship with another woman with kids.
You got a band of children.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
And then the question that was put forward as well, now with this woman possibly getting into another relationship, and that man in her life trying to make an activity with the children and establish a relationship, then the question is, well, why your ex have such an active role in these children's lives? And there are a lot of complications that you just have to learn to deal with as they come along. But there are definitely a lot to be considered when you are trying to be in relationships with children.
Split too.
I have with one of my kids' moms, when we split, me and her it was a wrap. Her mom would tell everybody that she ever encountered, I'm still her son-in-law.
Yeah, but y'all ain't gonna fish fry every week, right?
No, but we ain't gonna fish. No, hold on. We ain't gonna fish fry every week. But at the end of the day, she's never. We have never lost that respect or that appreciation of each other.
You don't, because you built something.
Right. And I'm not saying that you need to go out every week. I'm saying that if me and you have a relationship, then we can keep that despite the dynamic that brought us together. What? For me, when I had to step in with her was when she said it in front of her daughter's significant other. She's like, this is going to always be my son. She said it in front of him. And I could have saw the hurt on his face.
Right.
So I said to her when he had left, I said, Mom, listen to me. I said, I love you dearly, and that's never going to change. I say, but when it comes to saying certain things in front of him, just because of who he is, try to avoid that. Because you don't want to alienate him. You don't want him to feel as though you are behind the scenes playing double agent and trying to cause conflict. I say, so me and you, me and you good. Me and you can always be good.
And you said that.
Yeah.
I'd leave it alone.
So at what point do you do the introduction? Hold on. Does the person that you're currently dating like say Lady M, for instance, does she have a right to be introduced to who it is that you have decided is going to be your significant other?
Yes.
She has a right to, or that's a privilege?
That's a right, because at the end of the day, her child is going to be around that woman.
Mm-hmm.
And so she has a right to know who this person is. She has a right to know she has a right to know about the person.
So you telling her, what about meeting her?
Y'all can meet. I don't have a problem with that.
Like say,
I got a problem with that. Like
how soon does one introduce? Not just to the other party, but to the children.
That's all depend. I think that depends. It really depends on a number of different things.
So you're not going to do the introductory.
I don't think there's no.
You mean like right away?
No, I mean if you're seeing someone else, let's like, I don't like to use that example, but I have to because you're still in your situation. If you and Carol to split, and what you dating someone, you go over, hey Carol, boo. So listen, this is Tiff.
Oh wow.
Oh, this was like, really?
Like, not today.
No.
I was necessary that you do, because I have my kids with me all the time, and if she chooses to be with me with my kids, yeah, definitely. I mean, the thing is, I would introduce her to my kids right away, but I would have to steer that relationship. Like, I don't want my kids thinking this could be the next mom.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I want them thinking that they have to call this person mom. This is just someone just a friend of daddy. You know what I'm saying? We hang out, or we go to carnival together, stuff like that. I'm also going to be careful my interaction with this girl around my kids. You see what I'm saying? Especially, I mean, my 6-year-olds, they're very protective of both us.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? If a girl is around me, they'll be like,
she watching.
Yeah. They'll be like, who this? You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I'll introduce them right away. But like I said, I control how much interaction they have with my kids. I control the setting.
It's odd. Like, I'm in both situations, right? And as a woman in a man's life that has a child or children, it's almost a thing for us. We need to be. You need to just tell her this. Yes. Hello. Good morning, Love Jones.
Yeah, I got the last 10 minutes, right?
Say I got the last 10 minutes.
No,
Good morning, sir. What's up?
I had a busy morning this morning, so I ain't get to hear nothing. So I know y'all talking about some of the relationships and kids, right?
Yep.
So what's the gig?
Boy, listen, that's been a lot. There was a situation that we were talking about with a woman that's facing some challenges right now with a gentleman that she was dating, and some stuff happened. But right now we're talking about what time is the right time to introduce your ex-spouse or mate to the current, if that is someone that's going to be significant in your life. At what point do you introduce your children to the person that you're seeing? And what role do you play as the person coming in now in the child's life, if any?
But the thing about it is, I mean, first of all, you gotta get the temperature of your child, because the thing about it is how children react to certain situations. Because if, let's say, the child feels a certain way about a person, right? Let's say they know about the person and they feel a certain way about that person for the time being. You don't want to try to force the child or force that person onto the child, because then you have to give the child time to warm up to the person. So definitely you gotta get the temperature of the child first. I don't think there's any. I mean, I guess you will know if the person is a joker or not, right? So I don't think there's any specific time or length of time that it should be before you introduce a child to partner or something like that.
Do you make an introductory between the ex-spouse and the current?
I don't. Why not? I mean, because the thing about it is, okay,
I can think of a couple.
I was married, got 2 kids, right? Get a divorce, and then you start meeting. You start dating somebody else, and let's say you've been with that person for a while, right? And you see that it's gonna go to a different level. I don't see why not, because I mean, at the end of the day, if this woman who is in my life is playing a role in my children's life, then I feel as though she needs to have some sort of relationship with my ex-wife, and it doesn't have to be a friend situation. It's just, okay, this is who my children are gonna be with when they're not with you. So that okay, this is the person who they deal with. Now, she don't necessarily have to approve of who I am with, because, listen, you made a choice to be out of my life, so you really don't have no say in who I'm seeing, right? But I respect you enough to say, hey, this is the lady who is going to be in your kid's life moving forward when they're with me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. But listen, I don't want to say it like that, but some woman petty, right?
All woman petty.
Boy, shut your mouth on this phone, yeah? Shut your mouth on this phone.
That's what I mean.
Because listen, because I used to have stuff said to me, actually in open court, going through the custody proceedings. I don't want her hand in my children's head. I was like, what? Yeah, but I got cooties or something, like, seriously? That's what it was.
It's like your woman just a special kind of special, right? And I understand, yeah, the kids come out of your womb and all that stuff like that.
Oh, right, like it's no big deal, right? But like opening chips. They just drop out, right?
Right? Understood. But it's like, all right, check, man. Like, I grew up with my stepfather, right? I love that dude to death, And the thing about it is, it's like his kids, my stepdaughters, they had a stepfather in their life as well, right? And the thing about it is, my stepfather and their stepfather got along quite well, right? But when you got the two women, they neck and neck. Oh, I don't want her around here. Da, 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 da. See, like, listen, man.
No, but that's
shut
not.
up.
That's
that
that's
relationship
not.
is done.
That's not always the case. I am in that situation now, so don't try to preach that.
So what's the case?
Huh? No, that's not always the case. I mean, I'm glad that it happened in your case, but a lot of times that isn't the case. And then, like I said, I remember taking the kids out, and then we ended up on the beach or whatever. And the little boy said, "You're so pretty. So you're daddy girlfriend?" I said, "Yeah." Big load in my face. He throws out in my face. And a lot of times, cold turkey, cold cut. Like I still spitting out oysters today, my part. I still spitting pearls out today.
That was good.
He brought me right up. So you pretty, you daddy girlfriend? I say, yeah, I think you're easing up. I big load in your face. Stop joking.
Yeah.
Right? And so it took me a while to understand too that it wasn't something personal necessarily with me. Children see that as being protective of their mother. And a lot of times they see you as the person. Now, mind you, that relationship could have ended long time, but they see you as the person that's standing in between their parents being back together. So there are a lot of different dynamics that you have to consider.
Yeah, but see, the thing about it is that has to be explained to the children because while I understand that, it's still that children have to know that. Listen, you are a child,
and you have to know your place.
The relationship that I have with you versus the relationship that I have with your mother,
different.
You with not you are you need to. You are going to respect who I am with.
Right.
You are going to, and if that means I gotta cut your hip for it,
then so be it.
Should that
then that can happen?
Should that statement also be made to the other person, to the ex, that you have to have respect for?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You are going to respect who I am with.
Right.
Hold on, Pat. Sorry to cut you off. I had a situation where my kids' moms, we finally started talking again.
Right.
And so she said to me some things or whatever about coming there, whatever. So I said to her, I said, okay, that's cool. I said, I'll come. But when I come, my girlfriend is coming.
Right.
Oh, she don't need to be here. Excuse you. Time out. Pump your brakes.
Yeah, I used to hear that. Like when you come to pick up the children, make sure you leave that itch at home.
Who don't need to be where? I'm like, if she can't, I'm like, and I told her, I said, if she can't come, then I won't come.
That's just like what Pat was saying.
So should you stay home then? For peace sake? A lot of people do that. No. They make that mistake. They say, okay, for peace sake, I can stay home. My thing is, it's not about being controversial. The point is, are we making a decision? Am I in your life? Am I in your life? Am I in your children's life?
This is how women are. This is how women are. Yes, because I can tell you, the same woman who told me not to bring my girlfriend to her place, when my child, her boyfriend sitting in the house, he in the car.
Let me hear that.
Yeah, like I don't care. I don't care who you with. So why do you care who I with?
I get these words before, and I can show you this now. If an invitation is sent for me to go to a wedding, and my wife isn't on that invitation,
then
I'm not coming.
I'm not going. And so the thing about it is, and that point has been raised too before. And so it's like, all right, the next person who I am with, if there is something, she is going to be there. If you have a problem with that,
then you don't be there.
Problem.
No, then I leave.
But that is this is the person who I choose to be with. She is my quote unquote significant other. She is the one who makes me one. And so therefore, she is going to be with me. She is going to be with me. Now, if she says to me, Pat, you know what, I don't want to go, then I'll understand that.
Right.
But you ain't going to tell me, leave that who, what, when, where, whom. No, sir. It ain't happening.
My even on another point what he made, with the whole how men interact with men, opposed to how women interact. One of my kids' moms, when they see me with a female, we've not been together forever, they still offended.
So let me ask a question. I think the problem here is it me? Do you get offended because you still got feelings? That's what it is?
I have to be that because let me explain. When I go to the house and her significant other is there, me and him, we sit and we talk, This man,
But
But
see-
you over it.
this
But
man.
Durban, you know what
Shut up,
because. Oh, sorry, boss.
That's what I want to know.
You in the
Go ahead,
night.
Go ahead. Go
So-
ahead. Yeah, let's listen to this.
And he, like, it was one time when I went to carry my child out, and his daughter got upset because she's like, well, all the kids going on, and she's not. So I told his mom, I was like, look, I'll carry her. I'll carry her with me to get something to eat because I was carrying my son. She's like, okay, let me call her dad and let me ask her dad. Her dad was like, well, what's the problem? She's like, oh, well, she's asking this. And he's like, okay. She's like, but Durban said he'll carry her with. So she's like, okay, let her go.
I don't know.
You think a woman would do that?
Durban,
It depends. It depends.
What you saying, Pat?
Let me tell you something. Let me be honest with you. I think it's more likely that a woman will do it if she does not have feelings involved. Let's be real about it. A lot of times with men, once men have made that severance, but they finish. Real talk, right? A lot of times women, I agree, but a lot of times they are left, they hold on to stuff a little bit longer, I think, than men.
So
I was just going to say that, you know, because when a woman has invested so much into,
and then she feel like another woman roll up and snatch the portfolio, that's a problem.
Right,
Yeah.
and see, women have this thing. Well, because I was just talking to a lady the other day, and she was like, because I was showing her my situation, right? And she was like, oh no, you know, I would make it work because you know, I already put so much into this man, and I don't teach him how to cook and clean and do this and how to love me and all this stuff like that. And for me to let him go and be with some other woman, that can't happen. I can stay no matter what. And I was like, you wrong for that.
So but hold on. So what about her going again with someone else?
See, because we
All
don't
right.
think like that. We come ready made. We prime
All
you
right.
up.
So it's like for men,
No.
when
No.
a woman, I don't care how much you love a woman. I'm speaking from my man standpoint. Me as a man, it's like it don't matter how much you put into me and everything like that. It don't matter the type of relationship that we had, how we ended. It don't matter. Once you have said to me, I am done. My mind, a switch in my mind says, all right, bro, this one finished. Click. That off. Me and you could be in the same place. You could strip ball naked and he ain't gonna do nothing for me.
Women aren't like that.
But women ain't like that because
No.
it's like when you see that, when they see the dude, when you come back on the scene to come pick up the kids and they look at you and they be like,
Get off this phone, yeah? I was right with you till you run on with foolishness. No, sir. No, but our women is like this. Listen to me. I just tell Durban. This how women go. And I ain't gonna lie. Y'all can say petty or whatever. Me, I buy you, I call it the horsey shirt, right? I buy you this nice yellow and white horsey shirt because I say it brings out your eyes. I flicking out Junkanu and I sip in the little situation and I look across and you snatch up with somebody else with the horsey. Wait, give me this horse.
This my shirt.
No, give me this.
That's my.
I'll leave you with the stripes, king.
No.
That's all you got. Listen, Pat, come up this morning. You have your time. No.
Johnny, I can sell you a message.
Give me.
I can sell
You
a
got
message.
it.
I'll show you
You
why.
can see later.
I
If I buy
ain't
a soda, give you why? Who sold that is?
But here's the thing. This I have a problem. If you out some and you buy yourself, but that shirt still look good on him, eh? The problem is when you add the accoutrement. That's like you buy me the soda and I pass it to Mike to sip. Hey, you say you was thirsty. But I'm like, no.
But I don't care what you do with the soda no more. I can get that to you.
Yeah, well, I me boss. I'll leave you with the stripes, and I still gonna need a couple of them. Cold cut. And I telling you, I owning that bit of Petty today. Hi, my name's Candy. I'm Petty. Yeah, I owning that. Women, listen.
Well, like me, I super petty because I'll take the shirt off and give it to you.
Women, I know, and that's why I can tell you, give me that. Women, I hope you got on the shirt. I better than buy that. Please. And then come like here with I curl on your chest so I can need them too. The first and second one by the nip. I can need all them here. I just say it. Yeah, I riding the Betty bus on full steam today. I haven't been riding for a while. Thanks. But Well, jokes aside, women are very possessive. I admit that. And whether you were with them today, last year, whatever, they always feel as if they have a particular right to you, and that's wrong. I admit that. I have no problem with saying that. But these are all the things that we have to talk about so that we can start to change culturally. I don't mean bohemian. I mean culturally, how we behave and condition ourselves. We really need to do better. And that starts with the way that we set our mind up. Because unless you change your mentality, the actions will continue time and time again. We will teach our children that this is the way to behave. We will teach anybody else that comes along that this is the way that we behave. This is the way that you detach, do not detach. This is the way that we love. We have to change those things if we are in any way trying to build a semblance of a new community of the way that we operate in relationships. Otherwise, we are doomed to continue to make the same mistakes again and again and again and again. And just because it has been done, it has been going on, that doesn't make it right. People keep saying, yeah, well, last side always, that don't mean that it's right though. We need to start changing the way that we go about things. As men and women, as mothers, as fathers, as people dating, as people married, we really have to do better if we expect to see any change within ourselves, or when we expect to see our children getting in better relationships that we were in. We expect them to be better mothers and fathers that we have been. We only can do that by starting to show them, not just telling them, but show them that there's a different way to go about things. And I'm hoping that we could start doing that today. So that's it for us. We're out of here, but you can continue to watch the video and watch me snatch the shirt off Dervin.
Yeah, my camera ready.
You getting it, baby?
I go into the HD camera.
Make sure you get everything in. Oh. We're gone, but we'll be back tomorrow. It's going to be a freestyle, freaky kind of Friday. We've got some letters that have come in that we definitely have to get into. A guy that wears his girlfriend's stockings to work.
Wrong. Epic.
Solid say what? He has a reason. He has a good reason for wearing a stockings to work. We're going to talk about that. Lady Essence on it. You don't need to wear them after she done had them on. That don't make a difference. No. We're gone. Thanks to Magic Mike, Brother D, the solid for making sure that all went well. We're gone, but we'll be back tomorrow. But make sure you grab it on the Google Play Store. Watch it on Facebook. Become a friend and be a part of the conversation that is thought-provoking, so you don't have to be jonesing for love anymore. We're gone. Keep it locked. More of the Magic Mix is on the way.
We got link.
You've been listening to Love Jones. Catch it weekdays at 11 a.m. on The Candy Shop. See you next time.
Global 99.5 FM reminds our listeners that the views and opinions